Hi, my name is Ryan, and I am making this video to possibly be a resource to help others figure out if they want to decide to have a cervical disc transplant using a Mobi-C disc replacements. I recently had one 2 days ago on June 13th, and I decided I would make a video series of my recovery time, starting with now, today, 2 days later, and I will do some incrementally, maybe a week out, then 2 weeks, and maybe a month, and just as I go. So as a bit of a background, how this all started was last July, almost a year ago, I started experiencing pretty rough pain between my shoulder blades and a little bit of tingliness and weakness in my arms and numbness. It wasn't terrible to start, but I'm a fairly active person. I play ice hockey, kayaking, swimming, ride motorcycles, basically everything fun. Doing those activities made it a lot worse. So I finally, 6 months later, after being stubborn and thinking it was simply just a muscle strain in my back, I went to a doctor and they took MRIs and diagnosed that I have a fully collapsed disc in the C6, between the C6 and C7 vertebrae, and a bulging and torn disc in the C5 to C6. So the doctor first suggested I do conservative therapy. That would be steroid injections into my cervical spine area for inflammation, and physical therapy. I did those for approximately 3 months. That included 2 steroid injections and twice a week physical therapy visits. It didn't seem to help. What did help was actually perfect posture. So tell your kids, do your posture correctly. I wish I listened to Mom earlier, but also the activity. It would get a lot worse if I played hockey. Motorcycle riding was the worst. I guess having my head, I ride a sport bike, so having my head back in that position, looking up, just would really kill it, and I'd be down for 2 to 3 days with so much weakness in my arms that I could barely even do a push-up. So where was I? Yeah, so that's how it started. So finally, after the physical therapy and steroid injections didn't help enough, the doctor was suggesting a 2-level fusion from C5 to C7. Similar, I think Peyton Manning had a similar one done. And I inquired about disc replacement, and he said he didn't do that and didn't feel that I was a candidate for it, which I thought was kind of odd because I'm in shape, I'm young, I'm 39, and it seems like it'd be a reasonable idea. So I went and got a second opinion with the Central Texas Spine Institute with Dr. Randall Dreyer. And his opinion, after seeing the exact same MRIs and doing his own tests and x-rays, he thought I was a perfect candidate for the Mobi-C disc replacement for 2 levels. And my insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield Premera, does cover it, both the 2 level for the Mobi-C. I believe it's the only artificial disc that they will pay for a 2 level. Most just do 1, it seems. That's what the doctor told me. I don't know if that's true or not, so you might need to verify that. So I had the surgery 2 days ago on June 19th, Tuesday, and like I said, today is June 15th, Thursday, and the surgery was quick. I believe my wife told me it was an hour, and it started at 7:30. I was in recovery from 8:30 till about 10 and was discharged at 10 o'clock. I was told, since it's a 2-disc replacement, that there was the possibility that it would need to be an overnight visit, but they determined that at the time of your recovery. And I was up and eating and coherent, as much as coherent can be after the anesthesia, and they let me go home. So Tuesday, the first day right after surgery, wasn't so bad. There was some pain, a little soreness, stiffness, which is to be expected. The sore throat that they told me there was gonna be a sore throat, it wasn't so bad in general, but swallowing was tough. And I don't suggest coughing. So if you're a smoker, try to avoid coughing at all costs, because you're probably not gonna be able to smoke for a while. Hey, let's see here. What else? The sleeping that night was rough. It's very difficult to go from a sitting position to a lying position. Your muscles in here, or at least mine, were very almost strained to the limit, it seems, with the soreness. It felt like one of those really old school football workouts with the neck machine that you went way too far on. So trying to just roll from on your back to on your side or to sit up and roll was pretty painful. So I started using a pillow in my hand to support as it going down. That helped a little bit. It also helped to sleep kind of sitting somewhat in an upright position, like in a recliner. I slept better in the recliner than I did in the bed. I did, but it wasn't unbearable. The next morning, Wednesday morning, 24 hours later, I did have some nausea and some vomiting from about 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing the anesthesia, but it seemed to be a kind of a delayed reaction. But since then, I've been fine, eating and drinking normally, no issues. The sore throat did start get a lot worse on Wednesday, as did the muscle pain and fatigue. It was a lot. The second day was actually a lot rougher than the first. But still, again, nothing really unbearable. I've been in worse pain from the flu or stomach bug, honestly. Wednesday night, last night, I slept much better, much less pain, much less weakness in the neck and shoulder area. Everything's still sore, but the weakness is gone. So I had much less problem sleeping. I could roll, move around more. I mean, there's still a little bit of strain, but it's not bad. And today, honestly, I feel pretty good. I'm not going to go out and run 6 miles or anything, but I feel good. I'm up around the house, moving, cooking, working, making Facebook or YouTube videos. So far, so good. I'm happy. And the best thing about it is the pain between my shoulder blades that has been nonstop for the past year is gone. All of it, completely. I do have still a slight weakness in my arms, but they aren't numb anymore. They aren't tingling. So I'm assuming that might be a gradual healing process there, since they've been compressed for a while with the collapsed discs. So far I'm happy. Dr. Dreyer and his staff are fantastic. I highly suggest, if you're going through this, to get a second and third opinion, because like I said, if I had gone with the first guy, I would have had a fusion and I'd be down and out for 6 months to a year, where supposedly this Mobi-C replacement is a quicker recovery at 3 months. So, and considering 2 days later, I can do all that. It's stiff on the ends, but I'm sure it's been 2 days, so I'm sure that'll recover with time. But there's no pain doing that. Got full arm motion back. They feel great. So it's been good so far, and I have my follow-up appointment in a week, and I will post another video in a week about how I'm doing then maybe a month later, and go from there. So again, hopefully this helps some of you guys with your decision, this series, and I will talk to you guys in a week.